Puzzle is like your standard make this many moves or this many drops and clear the entire screen kind of situation. So what's the first level is called multi. This isn't really... Oh, that was the wrong button. Do I have a restart option? I do not. That was just literally... I forgot how I had my controls mapped. It is pretty dumb. This is very similar to Rescue. We need to uncover exactly one picture. Unlike Rescue, though, we have to actually uncover a whole picture and not just a consecutive area. Drill. So there are 5 drills. One of them is the target. When we clear out next to it, everything that is underneath it will drop. And that lets us tell that when we get over it, we drop it, we look, there's the picture, so now we can start digging in this area. I'm just gonna grab that. Now we don't have much more left. Just that, and we're clear, and that's the end of this one. Now, Flim Flam, this is one of my favorite songs. Brick. We need to get one of the bricks down to the bottom of the ball. It's one of my favorite songs in this game. I actually wrote a BMS file to this song way back when. Drop there, that should basically get everything. Break it down. We're good. Tower. So we have to find the tower. It's sticking hugely out of the tower, or out of the ball when we have this few pieces, but when we get into later levels, the ball will be a lot taller, so the tower will be a lot bigger. We can make that diagonal move. We don't have to, even though, like, you know, physically it would have to clip the tower to make that move, we can actually do a diagonal move if we put in a diagonal input. Now, the absolute hardest mode is Crystal Tower. Oh, we need one. We don't even have to clear anything, we just have to do that. Crystal Tower is the same as Tower, except if you break any blocks next to the tower collapses and you lose. So you have to actually just, like, move things away from it. And now we are Hide and Seek, which is the same as Rescue. Just that this is kind of the quote-unquote boss mode of this sub-mode, is to do the other mode. So, as far as I know, the sphere is not actually topologically a sphere. It's just a grid projected onto a sphere. So, like, there's no polar behavior or anything. If I go whipping around horizontally or vertically, I'll come back to where I was here. So it doesn't topologically behave like a sphere. It's actually just, the sphere is entirely a, hey, we can do this game in 3D. So we did. Mute the mic for most of the chilling, but for most of the chewing, but it's pretzel time. Is this the one? This is not the one. got a power up, but I haven't had reason to use any of the power ups yet. Alright, so that means we are missing. Where's the last drill? We can't spin forever, we do need to make some drops along the way. But I haven't found the last drill yet. Okay, I am lost. There's supposed to be one more on here. I just have not found it yet. And eventually, like, we mathematically have to find it. Or we have to clear, like, literally the entire ball, but I am completely lost. Is that it? Yeah, it was just really hard to see there. Oh. Yeah, I left myself muted from the last pretzel. I say I have power-ups. I think they're I don't have a Z button mapped, but I think they're on C down, but I don't really have C buttons on this controller, so it's that one analog stick. Alright, so with multi, it is just basically find any part of the core. I don't believe that they ever have multi where it's not, where you have to go find a specific part of the core. I think it's always there. But yeah, like, the ball doesn't have holes, it doesn't, like, get, like, there aren't rows on the top that are narrower than other rows. It's topologically incorrect. The best kind of correct. Wait. Nope. Here we go. Alright, we have one more to find. Haven't found it yet. The ball is a little thicker at this point. Alright, so I apparently do not... There it is. I must have just dug it out and not realized that I dug it out. Put this up here. Let me just keep 2. There it is. No. Oh. Still no. And we're not quite there yet. I thought we could kind of cheese that one, but not quite. So now, there we go. Boom. Now I think we even had a block overhanging it, but that doesn't matter. We just have to have the bottom level uncovered. Connect. So we have to uncover all the related pictures. Which, it's not obvious out of the gate how many there are. Set up a little bit bigger of a combo. There we go. Keep going this way. Still more, so we're not done in this direction. Alright, still gotta keep going. Oh, I did not read that correctly. I lose my power up. Okay, there they are. That one's actually a loop, but they aren't guaranteed to be a loop. They can fork more than 2 ways. It's still one of my favorite songs in this game. I don't think we even get to hear the best song in this mode either. Phony. Phony is the best song in this game. I will not be taking questions at this time. Wink. Back. Oh. Okay, that was entirely... I just completely failed to read. I just put it in the wrong position. Wasn't even off by like a ton, but I was off by enough. Okay, that's enough to let him out. So we're done with this one. So I think we're through 3 worlds so far. Difficulty's gonna ramp up pretty soon. Just see what the categories are for this. I wouldn't mind speedrunning this conceptually, but this is not a serious attempt at a speedrun. But sometimes a non-serious attempt is good enough to submit. This should be good. Blink. If you keep clearing lines, it'll stay on the level until you actually let it resolve, so you gotta be careful about that. Working in this area. Compliant Confused, another really good song. So I did a BMS to Flim Flam, I did a step chart to this, although I wouldn't say it was one of my better works. Not really a great song for a step chart. Not quite, oh, I just didn't have the right square to grab it. And I need an actual square piece to be able to grab this, and we can drop it in there. believe this song's called Phase, but I could be thinking of a different song. F-A-Z-E. Hello, Shinji. How's your afternoon going? Yeah, the Tetrisphere, this was requested by Laird. He hasn't shown up yet. And if not, we'll run it back again next week, but not that I mind playing this game at all. This is a really good game. I actually programmed a clone of this, kind of, in college. It was not actually 3D, because that was, is, and always will be beyond my abilities. Is that good enough? What am I missing? Nope, got it. I do still have my N64, and I do actually own a copy of this, but we're emulating. It's just so much easier than getting set up. Oh yeah, the soundtrack to this is amazing. Boss just absolutely nailed it. As I was rambling to myself earlier, I actually did a BMS to Flim Flam. Like, I've made 2 BMS files in my life, and that was one of them. Not key sounded. Let's be absolutely clear on that, but just glad this isn't the Crystal Tower. So the chart kind of resembles, the chart that I came up with kind of resembles Ram's Switch. Not. There's 2 2DX songs named Switch, and Ram's is the better one because Ram's good. Phony's my favorite song in the game. Hands down. Flim Flam is another one of my favorites. Compliant Confused is good. Don't remember Manic. I know Manic Drum Mix is a song. I don't remember what it sounds like off the top of my head. We gotta be careful where we drop when we have the dot. The dot is not as permissive about where you can drop as everything else. Oh, this one. I don't think we got to the Manic Drums, though. We're not gonna hang around 50 seconds if we have the choice. I mean, I'm not speedrunning it, but I'm also not exactly intentionally slowing down the gameplay either. We're gonna see how... Ooh, we hit some lag. We're gonna see how far we can get on one stream through this, and maybe we'll see if this is actually a viable speedrun. I only know of one person who speedruns this, and it kind of sounds like they were the inspiration for Laird picking this in the first place. There we go. Okay, we need to actually find, where are the drills? That's not it. Nope. Find the rest of them. Okay, here's one. This is it. I can see this kind of sucking in a speedrun where it's RNG as to whether you're in the right spot or whether you have to go dig all 5 drills. As far as I know, FFR Pro is the only person who actually runs this. There we go. I need to remember how to use the power-ups. I do have them. This is the top level power-up. Where's the drill? There it is. we're just gonna use that power up now. I don't actually know if it benefits me or not to do so, but we're not gonna hang around. Oh, misread that. I'm hoping to get some atypical speedruns into mid-spring speed fling. Okay, I actually don't need this many T's. I need some not T's. So we gotta go this way, we gotta get through. Nope. This will bring this over here. Still have a T problem. Okay, we're gonna go this way then. Still with these T's. There aren't enough T's on the ball for me to be using these pieces. And I kind of lost track of where I am. We are going to end up with that kind of thing lost to history, most likely. There we go. One screenshot, and that's it. I have heard that the Tetris company regretted giving the license to this game because it has just... its relation to actual Tetris is somewhere between Jack and Squat. Like, even most of the Aminos are not Tetraminos. This should do it. Nope. Nope. Now I'm gonna have to waltz around until I can actually get this and move this out of the way. Now, if I'm gonna do weird puzzle games on stream, remember Wetrix? I told my wife about Wetrix and she didn't believe it existed. And then I showed her Wetrix and she still didn't believe it existed. Wetrix is weird. It has floating rubber duckies, so top tier game right there. We are just trying to get this out of here so we can do it. I don't think I've played either of those, or if they're the same game, I certainly haven't played it. Halfway through the game. Not in terms of clock time, it gets a lot longer from here on out, but in terms of number of levels, yeah, we're halfway. Now we got too many squares. We haven't seen any level with 3 types of pieces yet, so. Okay. Maybe I'll go look that up. I'm definitely into weird puzzle games. maybe not the most into weird puzzle games. I know people who are more into weird puzzle games. Don't play Pyramid. Pyramid is a pretty cursed puzzle game. It's one of those unlicensed NES games. I think it's Sachin. And they definitely understood what Tetris was, but they didn't understand why Tetris was good. Very good puzzle game based on rolling dice around, but the strategy needed for high-level play is above 40 chess levels of thinking ahead. Yeah, I can see that. I would imagine that something like that, you gotta like plan ahead based on the faces of dice and where they will be when you roll them 4 times. I can see that definitely getting complex. I have been aggressively not worrying about getting any multiplier in this mode because it's not a score-based mode. That was actually a little bit of a mistake there, but isn't really gonna hurt me. Just to give us a really good chance to get a multiplier going. Alright, what if... does that go further? It does. How about this end? This end does also go further. 7x7 grid of dice while battling another player. Alright, I think we're okay on this side. Now I just gotta dump some of these. There's. Good is an interesting way to say Crystal Tower. Hey, speak of the devil. I knew we hadn't had one yet. I also knew that we couldn't avoid it forever. So this is the first point in the game where I really have to slow down and actively think. Because we need to not murder the tower. If we murder the tower, it will get very angry. There we go. It only gets worse from here, folks. I knew we had to have one coming up sooner or later. Oh. It was even, it told me I could do it. It must have taken away the piece that I needed to actually do it. But it gave me the this is an okay drop look. Alright. Not actually gonna go underneath, it's too covered up. We need this. Almost there, I think. There we go. Crystal Tower is kind of like playing Jenga in the middle of an earthquake. I think this is the point where if we were doing a real speed run, we would do a reset. because nominally this is the end. This isn't the end, but nominally this is the inter credits. Oh, so it's not going to keep the numbers counting up and say new episode. I hope it's... Yeah, this ball is too deep for it to have sent me all the way back to the beginning. It did say episode 2, so I hope we're on to new content and not just repeating old content ad nauseum. Well, that'll do it. I didn't realize I was that close. Nope. Yeah, there it is. I know there's some modes in this game that are hidden away by codes as well. There's a lot of content tucked away. That should do it. Nope. Is there anywhere I can... Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to cheese that one, but we did. Music is code only. That's pretty impressive. Such a good soundtrack. So I think they were playing the music for this during a bump for one of the GDQs, and I commented on how good it was, and I'm pretty sure Neil Voss liked my tweet. So that was a thing. These are the extent of these celebrity interactions that I've ever had. You have to really bend the definition of celebrity. And interaction at that. There we go. And it's one of the other interesting things is, like, I don't even think Neil Voss has been all that super prolific in terms of video game music. When I go look at his credits, it's Tetrisphere, the new Tetris or the next Tetris, I forget. And then, like, Racing Gears Advance on the GBA. Which Dippity brought up a few days ago. Non-angry tower. No. If Laird ends up missing it, send him the load. I don't actually know the object version of that pronoun. Them? Probably them. wasn't actually a big hole. Some of the mechanics in this game are just off the wall, though. Like, it does a pretty good job of teaching you, but like, the way you can just make fuse, you can take the blue pieces and make fuses out of them. There we go. Kind of surprised more N64 games didn't use mod tracker. That looks promising. Dig. Hopeful this will actually, but almost. Oh, one more. Come on. Oh. Come on. Yeah, I kind of learned the rules pretty well because, like I think I mentioned, I implemented a D3Dified version of this back in college. Because the game's not actually on a sphere, that is entirely a visual representation. The actual topology of the game it's really a torus. We done. Like, it's just a grid that wraps on both edges. So can we do this? Yeah, I think we can get that. It's a topological nightmare is all I'm saying. No mathematicians were consulted in the making of this game, but several were harmed. Still only need a small window there. I forget how many episodes there are. But we haven't hit anything remotely, anything remotely near top tier yet. We still haven't seen any spheres with 3 shapes on them. They were too cowardly to make you do all 6 at once. Or even 4 or 5. Oh, now that other block is still jutting out in there. There we go. Still staggered. Anyway, we're good on that one. Yeah, we're not gonna get all 5 episodes on one stream. I can say that confidently. I was wondering, is this something I can just blast through on one stream? And I think that's enough to say no. It's really hard to actually see in these at this point. Now it's just way too high up the stack. Let's go like that. Alright, I'm going way too far afield because I don't have any actual use for these pieces. Because I'm all still just buried in by squares. To find better uses of squares. What's left? There we go. Oh. I thought that it was gonna unclear because I put that on it. I want to do at least 2 hours of this, so we should be able to get through probably 4 episodes, but all 5 might be a stretch. Or I might just need to take a stretch in there. Well, we'll see. I wouldn't mind submitting a unofficial... I wouldn't mind submitting a speedrun out of this, technically. Even though it wouldn't be, like, well-routed or anything. This would actually be a really good level to receive a, yeah, this would actually be very useful right now. To be honest, I have already picked my next serious speedrun project. I just need to find a window of time in which I feel like I can actually do it. It's gonna be Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle for the NES. It actually seems a lot, in terms of how the speedrun goes, it feels like it's going to be a lot like Pac-Man. That is a lot more about routing, and maybe a little bit of quasi-RNG more than it is about, like, actual execution and frame-perfect tricks. That was a long stage. Flim Flam. They really do not want me to have these things, do they? I don't think I can actually get in there. Monolith is a lot more get good than routing tech. I can totally see that. That was one of the roguelike, whatever particular term you want to use, but a procedurally generated levels until the cows come home. I still play a lot of Binding of Isaac on the DS, mostly because it helps me get to sleep. I've been working on trying to get 100 runs without a death, and I've been working on that for like 7 or 8 years as a unofficial goal, and I'm currently got like a 55 run streak. So I'm hoping that I'm able to avoid getting bad luck and maybe actually get that one done. Well, I have lots of complaints about Binding of Isaac, but I kind of know what everything does at this point. I am very much not into the idea of the idea of going into a roguelike blind and learning as you go. I am just like, tell me what everything does up front, please. Oh yeah, massive balance issues. Some of the I've kind of stopped. Well, there's a couple reasons why I stopped pursuing new versions. So I mostly play the DS one, which is Rebirth without Afterbirth, and part of it is that I've heard not great things about Macmillan as a creator since then, so I haven't felt like supporting any more of his stuff or any more of the ports by Nicholas. But on top of that, yeah, every subsequent version just kind of ends up more muddled than the last. So I'm kind of at the point where I don't really want any more quote-unquote features added to the game. Like some of the curses in Rebirth. Oh, let's make it so you can't see what items are. Let's make it so you can't see the map. I mean, the map one is just like, okay, please chart your own map, which is just like the dumbest request. It's artificial difficulty. Or my least favorite is the one where it makes all the rooms dark, which is like, okay, I'm playing in a bedroom at 11:30 p.m. with the lights off. This is an accessibility nightmare. Why did you do this? Alright, so where's the last one? I literally don't know where there it is. We are running out of time. I dawdled too long there. We're just gonna do some zapping and get this mess over with. There it is. Now Dondas was saying, Dondas was saying that the story between Nicholas and Studio Pixel isn't as bad as everyone thinks it is. And Dondas being the huge Cave Story fan. But that wasn't a defense of Nicholas in any way. I haven't looked any further into it since hearing it. But yeah, I'm not willing to buy any Nicholas games for sure. I have played and beaten Cave Story, including the extra content, including the super dungeon. But I wouldn't call myself a super fan. It was a one and done shot. What are we missing? Oh boy. There it is. Nope, it isn't. Mild rage. Is that it? Yeah, I'm aware that that whatever happened with Pixel is not the entirety of the Ovier badness. But it's kind of interesting how important of a game Isaac kind of ended up becoming, given that it's basically a Zelda ripoff. I don't actually know the history there. I haven't known you long enough to know what would have happened. I'm taking a guess that that's related to Crohn's, but definitely could be something else. Yeah, my wife got diagnosed with RA. Well, it explained a whole lot, but also just as the symptoms kicked in, it definitely changed a whole lot of things about our lives too. So. Autoimmune diseases, do not recommend. And sometimes you're on autoimmune medications and then you develop psoriasis and half your hair falls out, and then they stop the wrong med, and then it doesn't get better till they put you back on a different med, and 2 years later or a year later we figure out which med was the actual problem. Did that wrong. I mean, the alternative is, you know, not being able to walk in this case, so. But yeah. I need to stop playing, especially if I'm trying to have any sort of speed here. We're done. Yeah. Like, I am in very good financial shape, but, and I have a lot of savings, but if I lost my job, that really, really large amount of savings would definitely start to dwindle if I had to pay for the autoimmunes out of pocket. So yeah. I completely understand that situation, and I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. That's not even helpful. Thanks, I hate it comes from Lindsay Ellis. It's a very useful all-purpose expression, though. I am exactly the kind of person all this mess is set up to help, but I'm also not, you know, awful, so I actively am really, really angry about it. We obviously have more of these. Oh. And I threw away my laser too by doing that, so it's unpleasant. I don't even know if I'm going the right way here. I don't need any more T's. What I need is I need to know where I'm supposed to go next. This looks potentially interesting. Come on. Suppose I should probably do this because it's not going to get any better or worse or different. Maybe I'll be able to see this. Okay, I might actually fail this one if I don't start paying better attention. Here. Okay, we're done. Brick, yeah, this is the Brick song. have a train of thought? I just kind of got absorbed into the game again. And then I got quiet. I need to not be a little less quiet. I need to be a little less quiet when I'm streaming. Mostly heady subjects. I started going in brain circles on that. Well, that kind of gets back to what I was saying on I was saying on Discord that if you want to put me on your card list, I certainly don't have any problem with that. But I also do not want to incur expenses. I do not want you incurring expenses towards me because I do not need people spending money on me. I should be spending more money on other people. I mean, on the one hand, it's a stream. I'm in theory trying to be entertaining to anybody who wants to come by, but also I think you're the only person here, and if you're more entertained by watching Flow, I can definitely shut up for a while. I could probably use that rocket, but I think it will take more time than... No, not there yet. It's a 4x4 then. We'll just... There it is. Yeah, we're not gonna get all 5 chapters in one sitting. I don't think I have that kind of, I don't think I could stream that long. But we'll probably get at least one more chapter done here. Because we're starting to get in on some of that difficulty. Yeah, there's nothing in this game that would strictly require 3D. As I said to Shinji earlier, I actually wrote a version of this without any 3D back in college. But this is a really good game. I really like it. Is this the one? Yes, we don't even have to go digging around any further. How's it going, Dondas? I was thinking of getting some 2DX in today myself, but I had this viewer game. Okay, if you improved your Space Dog SPN score, then I want to hear about it. I don't think I need to play Space Dog again, but I don't like charge notes. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do this until... let's see if I want to take this all the way until the servers come back up or not. At least gonna go until the top of the next hour. I have another active mission frame today, so I might want to get some of that in. But I also know Mira's doing the big birthday bash after maintenance. One problem with PC nostalgia is you miss the biggest selling point of the game, which is the piano versions of Vocaloid songs. Because Konami won't let us even pay for licenses. I have a very different perspective on nostalgia than you would, Shinji, definitely. Nostalgia's just not my game. It really isn't. And that you know, that's cool. It is what it is. The one thing I cannot deal with in nostalgia is that curved piano roll. I physically cannot read the game. Is that good enough? Yep. Yeah, I am definitely more of the 4 on the floor drum beat. Oh, can you make it not curved? I was never able to figure out which way to make it, or what to do to make it not curved. Like, I know you can adjust, like, the angle of it, but, like, I literally need the curve. Oh. I didn't think I did, but I did. Oh, do we not okay, we do continue. Anyway. Crystal Tower. It's fun. Okay, I did not know there was a flat option. I don't think there was last time I tried playing it, but that would have been based on the first edition of the game. You need to get out of here. We do not need you killing the tower. Yeah, music went. Oh, that's it. I saw that as soon as I dropped it. Music definitely went a little too hard into trying to make the lane look weird too. And while I'm on that topic, I also want to complain about Reflect Beat having those upper targets. That was also a very questionable decision in terms of playability. Never had trouble reading Voltex, but I can see that. Music was definitely an aesthetic. I will not at any point deny that. Music put a lot of effort into its visual presentation. Get down there. But I do think music was much more difficult for non-Japanese speakers to pick up as a function of that. Get away from the tower, please. What did I do? I didn't even see it. Yeah, I certainly was never able to get through the details of Museka enough to participate in the gacha part of it. That's a real nice hole you've dug. Sure would be a shame if you misjudged the position of a single block and had to start all the way over from the beginning. Some sort of element type thing. Okay, that's 4 tries in a row. Yeah, I like Ongeki, but the artwork is entirely waifu trash. As a game, Ongeki is great. It's got so much motion to it. The art is, you say the art is why. Let me actually get this in a coherent sentence. You say the art is why, but you know why. Okay, I apparently cannot play Crystal Tower anymore. I must have had a chain just pointing up towards it. Alright. Yeah, it was probably like 3 layers deep where I couldn't even see it. Oh, yeah. And I can't drop where I want to drop because I know it's going to kill me underneath. This here is threatening. Okay, we should be safe now. Okay, these greens are staggered. Nope. Nope, there was another one. There was another one underneath. So yeah, we're gonna not call this a speedrun anymore because I've died 5 times to this one tower. Oh, this could be worse. These could be L's. The L's, the purples, would be much worse than the greens. I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop on that one. And there it was. That one I don't know what happened either. Just have to be more patient. But I don't want to. I want it now. Alright, let's bring these down here. I have a bit of a funny story as it relates to Windu, and Windu's only slightly involved in it, but, do either of you know the, Windu's relatively famous chart for epileptic crisis? I'm gonna wait for answers on that before I continue the story here. I suppose I shouldn't be the one to determine whether it's relatively famous or not, but I think it's the best known chart to that song. Oh man. So, Epileptic Crisis was scheduled to be one of the boss songs for, Dance Tracks, which was another clone, another DDR ITG clone. It's going to be a competitor to ITG before the lawsuits took all the wins out of the sales on that. So I was a step artist for Dance Tracks, and I was the one originally slated to write the chart for Epileptic Crisis. And then I know that Windu took the song and reworked a lot of the chart, but the first third of that chart is actually still straight out of what I wrote. I know a lot of it got reworked because I certainly wasn't coming at it from the perspective of being an actual top-level ITG player. I was working under the constraints of I'm just a step artist and we're just gonna make this song as completely ridiculous as possible. So we made it as completely ridiculous as possible, and but then like the game never got released and all the songs got released and got reworked, and then fans picked it up and kind of redid it. And to this day, I probably need to actually go and like ask Windu about this, but like, so like after about when the BPM gimmicks in that song kicked in, was about when he started changing the steps. But the first part of it is actually straight from what I wrote. And I was always a tiny bit salty about that because I don't think I got the credit for writing that part of it. Now I know that a lot of the song got reworked and the gimmicks that we wrote got. So if you're talking about Windu making like really hard charts, I mean, he toned the gimmicks in that song so far down from what we wrote. Because that was intended to just be like the stupidest BPM stuff possible. Like, there was a part in that song where the music kind of did a bit where it repeated itself, but what we did was we wrote the exact same notes, but with completely different BPM gimmicks, so the timing was different. And to be honest, that's one of my favorite step charts that I ever wrote. I did eventually release my version of that sim file for one of the best mixes, just because I wanted to have it out there and have people see what I was originally intending to do with it. We lived! We lived. But I've always been a little internally salty about that. Despite, like, I've never heard a bad peep about Windu as a person, either online or in person. I wouldn't say, like, I've met Windu in person, but I have worked into a Sound Voltex cabinet with Windu in person. And I don't have any idea that he would have known who I was, but I knew who he was. And I was harboring a slight one-sided anime rivalry out of that. Oh, Windu's much better at music games than I am, though, so. So this is not a call-out post or an airing of any dirty laundry. At this point in my life, it's just a story that I think is kind of funny. But this makes me kind of want to go and, like, pull up Stepmania and pull up my chart and show you what we had intended for that chart. There we go. But we're deep in the middle of this, and I don't want to configure OBS to do that. But yeah. The original intended gimmicks for Epileptic Crisis. Well, what Konami ended up doing to make the gimmicks really hard for things like Fax and Pluto Relinquish was they, like, didn't put the speed-ups on the notes, they put the speed-ups between the notes. So that was, I never bothered, I wasn't playing DDR through the point with, like, Pluto Relinquish and even on easier charts, so I never figured those gimmicks out, but I was definitely really proud of the part in that song where we're like, we're going to use the exact same notes, but we're going to use a completely different set of BPM gimmicks so that you play the notes on a completely different rhythm. Now, I do have I can't even say do. I did have problems with the ITG community back a while ago. Like a decade ago, so we're not implicating anybody who's actively involved in it when I say that. Oh, our clock is gonna start being a threat. Oh, well, not if I mess up that drop like that, it's not. This is the one. Yeah, let's say that there was a step chart competition. I criticized the song for being in the wrong time signature, and they said, well, maybe it's just too hard for you, and then yeah, they started harassing my wife, so that wasn't great. Because she dared to play a medium chart on one of the reviews. Not gonna implicate anybody involved today in any of that, but that wasn't good. So, don't let your community have that. The chart was a DDR 10-footer and definitely on the edge of my ability to actually play on a pad, but also I was a really accomplished step file writer, and I knew how to actually test them out on keyboard and judge them, and I also knew it was in the wrong time signature. Anyway, let's relitigate the past. So yeah, there's reasons why I try to make sure things are positive. You know what's great about this tower? It's not crystal. Crystal Tower is also impervious to using power-ups on it. Get it? What's covered? One. There we go. No, I'm pretty sure you can't use power-ups on crystal towers at all. If you do it anywhere near it, you're dead. If you try to do this atom, which peels an entire layer off the ball, yeah, it's not gonna go well. Which, sitting here, might as well use it. There we go. Let's do that. Okay. What else do we need? Okay, there we go. I mean, fear's right in the title of the game, right after Tetris. Think if there's there were certainly cool people in the community. I'm not sure if I have I don't think I've kept in touch with any of them. And I wasn't really involved in much of an IRL scene because I went to college in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and we had a DDR club, and that was kind of the extent of what I could do for an IRL scene. When I wasn't at college, maybe I could get down to an arcade once in a while. But certainly we didn't have anything like TGA. Crap. What are we doing? We are stuck on... Ah, okay. That's not good, but... I have the awkward situation that, yeah, I've made some rhythm game friends at the Midwest cons, but they're also young enough to the point where it's potentially a problem. So I got young man's game. Squares for the moment. Do that. This game. My issue here is that I need to move this. Then I should be able to chip away at this. Should be good. I can't sit around looking for it too long, and you need to get some of the fuses onto the ball so that my clock doesn't run out and I don't die. I actually really wish that I still had the atomic peel layer off the ball. This is nominally the most powerful power-up. But when I know how much digging I'm going to have to do for a level like this, quite frankly, I want to just peel the entire layer off the outside. There we go. Got that. Maybe we can get... Oh, nope. Not as much as I wanted out of that. I am hopeful that at some point this calendar year I will be comfortable going back to a round 1. I'm a little disappointed that Stratford Square closed. That was my favorite location, mostly due to the amenities in the vicinity. Even though Milwaukee is a little closer to me, Milwaukee doesn't have a Dance Rush, which is annoying because I like Dance Rush. Dance Rush is not a serious game, it's a fun game. Was that the only one in the area, or is there a second one? I thought I heard they might have been adding another, they might have had another one in the area. I know there were 3 in Chicagoland. There are 2 now, so I'm still... Fox Valley is like 2:15 away. 2 hours, 15 minutes. No, that was really bad. Where are the other 2? I've completely lost track. What's the 3rd? Oh, there it is. Can I grab that? I can't grab that. So yeah, we had Stratford Square. That was a 2-hour drive for me, but I liked that one because I could then go drive up to Mitsuan Marketplace 30 minutes away and get actual good Japanese food. Which is something that's really hard to get where I live. There's Fox Valley, which is about a 2-hour, 15-minute drive. They used to have a TGM. And I was willing to hop between multiple locations until that stopped working. Are you Team Go-Go or Team Coco? I know there's a big fight about that. Yeah, I know the one in Michigan. I know the one in at Great Lakes Crossing has TGM1, and I know that Fox Valley used to have TGM2. It's much more common that you get stuck with Sega Tetris. Oh, Coco is with 2 C's, and I suppose I should ask here. I know Go-Go has a presence in New York. Are you familiar with them from that, or are you familiar with them from actually in Japan? I think Koko Ichibanya is the biggest curry chain in Japan, and they have a presence on the West Coast. Go-Go is in New York City, and my household is a Go-Go household. My wife just adores H. Martin Cambridge, so there's actually one in Massachusetts. Good to know. My wife adores Go-Go curry, Kanazawa style curry. I didn't know they were outside of New York City. I know they certainly aren't here. The best curry place we've managed to find in the US is a little... Oh, okay, I for some reason thought I was doing hide and seek. Yeah, the best curry place we've managed to find is a little mom and pop shop in Illinois, but obviously haven't been there in a long time. But yeah, Go-Go's great stuff. Heavy as a rock, but it's delicious. My last trip to Japan, we actually went to Kanazawa, and I went to try the progenitor of Kanazawa curry, although I think Go-Go is better. Said, like, before I went on that trip I was deciding I was gonna... I don't think this is true. Before I went on that trip, I was like, I think Kanazawa is gonna be... must be up then. I think that's gonna be the city I'm most interested in, and I was dead wrong. Of all the cities on that trip, I'm like, that was the one that's like, okay, I've done everything I need to do here, and I don't think I ever need to come back. So I completely ended up being wrong about what was going to be the most interesting thing on that trip. Yeah, not that it was bad, mind you, not at all, but it just ended up being that I thought Kyushu was actually much more interesting. Or even Hiroshima. I only spent like 2 days there, which I did. There was too much to do on that trip, but there's always too much to do on a trip to Japan. there was a bunch of side trips out of Hiroshima that I kind of wanted to take and definitely never got to. Oh yeah, Akihabara is Vegas with... it's just Vegas. It's just anime Vegas. If anybody asks me about going to Japan and Akihabara, I always say, try Ikebukuro, it's better. I mean, Akihabara's not bad, mind you. Well, some of it is, but, like, it's not a bad... it's not dangerous, it's not, seedy or anything, but it's really in your face and really, really waifu. Problem is I don't know which line is going into this one, so I'm gonna dig out these lines, and I don't know if this is the wrong loop. We need to go this way. I do try to make sure when I go to Japan that my hotels are near arcades, because it's something I like to be able to pop in and do at the end of the day. And I also just don't have the energy to go walk, and I do need to balance my sightseeing with downtime. Generally set the rule of, as long as I'm doing something that I wouldn't be doing at home, I'm not wasting time. And the other compounding, I'm blind. The other compounding factor is, my wife's autoimmune disease and how much trip she can tolerate and how much walking she can tolerate. That's why I don't know when I'm gonna... Between that and COVID, I don't know when I'll actually have a decent shot to do it again. If I go again, I might have to go without her just because it's really hard on her. Shinji, did you have a donation link up anywhere on your Twitch page? I don't know that I looked at it very well, but I didn't think you did. Because I'm like thinking, my September sub's about to run out, and I might, like, I could bump it up to tier 2, but I also am like, I don't want Twitch to, I want Twitch taking as little of the money as possible. there we go. Stretch. Easy. Slightly adorable. Famous last words. But yeah, I think that in all honesty, unless I'm unaware of somebody, I think Shinji is actually the biggest primary. I think Shinji is the most popular streamer who is primarily Bimani in English language at least. And yeah, if Shinji hasn't gotten it yet, I mean the rest of us kind of have a long haul to go. I think Sparko does draw more than Shinji, but probably not. I didn't think of Stepmania, but Stepmania is also probably a little bit different. I think Sparko might get a bigger draw when she does 2DX, but she's also not necessarily primarily a rhythm game streamer. She's a little more variety. I think I call myself variety, but rhythm games are definitely my biggest streams at this point. Okay, where's that last one? What, did you just realize that you have a successful Twitch presence? I've only just in the last month kind of started to feel like the effort in my channel is starting to pay off in actually having regulars. Although I have to thank both of you for both being regulars, but Shinji with the huge Bimani audience, that you've actually done a whole lot to grow my streams, so I really appreciate that. Okay, I apparently dug out the complete wrong side here. In theory, I just stream whatever. In practice, I like to promote... In practice, I do like to have the Crossbeat streams be a regular thing, because that's something that I can do that basically nobody else does. Okay. Why do I have so many T's? I can't even use these. I don't need this. I can't activate that because it's completely buried. Alright, well, we got a couple of these. So yeah, in theory, I'd like to be streaming a lot of whatever. In practice, I do 2 nights a week of cross beats because I think it's unique. And then after that, I kind of just hit the problem of I have 10 billion things I want to do, and I don't have the time or social energy to do as many as maybe I would if I could. Because I'm like, yeah, I am actively trying to get a new Pac-Man world record a little bit at a time. But I only get time to spend on that 1 night a week. I want to go back to working on Nintendo World Championships. I want to learn Bugs Bunny. I want to do more of this garbage. I love this garbage. I don't mean that in a pejorative. It's good garbage. The tower which is up to its neck in quicksand. Disco Elysium. I'm not sure what that is. I'm an uncultured Philistine. Adventure game. You know, I'd also like to get my audience up to the point where I can do like Jackbox and like game nights. It's a safe bet to assume that I am pretty much out of the loop on everything because I interactive crime. I collect hobbies, and then I don't have time for any of them. Almost. Did we get it yet? Almost. There we go. I appreciate the tower that is not made of crystal. Well, we'll actually get to hear a little more Manic Drum Mix by this stage in the game. I mean, we're only 2 chapters away from another evil tower, so. Oh, we're almost there. I mean, this game can't hurt me. Mira's been sending me nothing but 12s on 2DX for a month. After this one, I'm probably gonna take a standing stretch break for just like a minute. I do kind of want to see if I can keep this going till Mira goes live, and then we can throw the host over there. But I do need to stretch my back because old man. And I might end up doing this again because Laird didn't make it. See, I always just feel bad kind of just being like, okay, I'm gonna leave my stream running, but I'm not gonna be here for a couple minutes. Yeah, I am at the point where hard 11s are plenty for me, and 12s are just me flailing, and until I actually break down and learn a completely new hand positioning, they don't have anything that I'm not progressing on them. So that's why What shocked me, actually, is the relative ease with which when I got back into the game, that I settled into the 11s. Last time I was seriously working on 2DX was about when we had redacted Spada. And at that point, I was actually making a concerted effort to do... Can they melt Nightmare Steel? Can they melt Nightmare Steel beams? But yeah, when I got into, I was getting into Spada Redacted, and at that point I was trying to work through a tier list of 11s, and I think I made it up probably about to the 11 point. I worked top to bottom and was working into like 11-2s and stuff, and I'm basically shocked that I'm clearing 60 to 70% of 11s right now. And also that I just walked into 9 done. It wasn't free. I didn't like have a ton of life left over, but I didn't like spend a lot of time grinding on it. I mean, I'm not getting a normal clear lamp on the 11s folder until Max Chipotle gets re-rated. Also, I have the requirement that my lamps are going to include me never unlocking Fascination Max. Oh yeah, yeah. Failed 11s that I don't have bought. That's one way to do it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not spending bits on Fascination Max. I actually kind of like Fascination Max as a song. It does not need to exist in Beatmania. Go back to DDR. Oh boy. Oh boy. Maybe I could get a few more fuses so that I can turn down the death timer. That would be nice. That is, again, I just want to clear out some fuses because I need my death timer. I forget. I know you get power-ups by clearing out the fire blocks. What I don't know is... I know there's another way to get them, but I don't know what that is. And what I want is the thing that lets me skim off the entire ball. I want this. So if I remember anything from real analysis, or from mathematics at all, numbers are just sets of empty sets of empty sets of empty sets. Yeah, I know there's another way to get a power up, but I know the lava blocks do it too. There's something about making a chain or a combo, or just getting a very large chain might do it. But this is the kind of thing where, given how much of the ball I'm gonna have to clear out to make this work, I just want to skim the entire surface and go from there. Just get that out of the way. Regret that drop. Where is it? I know there's blocks there, I just need to figure out which ones are active. If I skim the entire surface, it still looks pretty deep over here. Okay, it took a couple hours, but we definitely hit the point where I gotta start working. Game not free. Okay, that's apparently it. That other one's just looping back. I'm glad I didn't have to chase down anymore. That was already just a lot of digging. Flim Flam. We've obviously already been through this a few times. The music in this game is really good. Not an optimal place for me to put that drop. I think we're still in episode 3, but we're in late episode 3. We still haven't seen a single sphere that has multiple, as 3 colors at once. Cannot get that out of here. Okay, so what is down here? We're gonna try something. No, I cannot actually do that. I'm gonna, as much as I don't want to, I am going to actually have to dig it out from this side. There we go. Demo scene energy. Yeah, I get that. I feel that. We're gonna need a 4x4 to do this one. Basically this. So, alright. Should do it. Yeah, we're gonna have after chapter 3 here, we're gonna stand up, we'll do a stretch. We'll probably do chapter 4, and then by then I figure Mira will probably be live. To be honest, I'm actually just glad to have the excuse to play video games and not just feel like I'm being lazy. I'm not lazy, I'm socializing. Socializing, and I'm building my brand, trademark. What? Oh, that square? No? Okay, I don't understand. Is it that other one completely covered up? Is that why it didn't count? That was not at all what I wanted. I can see that, but I can't access it yet. Oh, almost. Come on, you can do it. I have zero idea how to do that. I'm terrified of learning how to. Well, to a degree you have. Yeah, I wouldn't advocate everywhere. I try to actually be judicious about where I announce things to, like, make sure it's relevant to the audience and all that. I'll say this. KNH bit the bullet this year, got an Instagram, and I mean, she's sold 5 or 6 times as much stuff online this year as through her Etsy shop as the year before. I mean, we can't do cons, so we're a bit limited in that regard. So we're still worse off than we would be if we had cons in that regard. But the one post today on Instagram has really jump-started her business. And while it's not exactly the thing keeping us afloat or anything, it's certainly having successful art has really basically I don't want to say it. Definitely makes her feel more productive and successful. Oh, I looked down under there and I swear that it was a... Yeah, how did that not work? That looks entirely activatable. Oh, that one's offset, that's what it is. I'm a little biased, but I would suggest that she's gonna be easily in the top 10%, maybe top 5% of con perler art vendors in terms of quality. She focuses more on small perlers. There are definitely some people out there who do more focus on big ones. but when it comes to big purlers, she's got a really great technique, and also she's really improved her design skills in the last few years. She started out doing like adjustments of existing sprites, but she's moved on to like full custom commissions, and it's basically sprite art. On the subject of Twitter, I despise Twitter, and I despise it slightly less than every other social media platform, basically. I'm stuck on it for news at this point. Thank yous are definitely a nice touch. Especially a good reminder of that small streams are a place where you can actually get to interact with people. Oh man. I had a fuse trigger underneath and kill me. Don't forget memes. As long as the memes are good. Still need to get early to make me an approved memer, so that I may post in the memes channel there. Somehow I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, TikTok I very much do not trust on any level, and Facebook, well, Facebook is the Facebook was voted #1 most likely thing to end democracy in our lifetime by me. So stay off Facebook. I did a little double check on that one to make sure I wasn't seeing anything really dangerous there. Alright, let's see. I'm free! That one only took 2 tries. Getting really low scores in this mode because I've been putting no effort into getting my multiplier up because I don't really consider this a score mode. What do we need? This cleaned up.